Everything you're about to hear is for entertainment purposes only. Listen, have some fun, but don't ever do, believe, or promote anything they say. They're idiots.
Guys, hold up. You should know, this ain't for everybody. Welcome to Savagely Loud. What's happening, people? Guys, welcome back to the show that believes the facts divided by feelings equals failure. I'm Clip, I'm your host, and guys, if you want to help me get this message out, you can find me on Instagram, Savagely Loud Podcast page. On that page, you can find a link to my personal page, Savagely Loud. That's where I'm most active. That's where I do most of my posting, most of my videos, and all that kind of stuff. I am on Facebook. I am on X, formerly known as Twitter. I'm also on TikTok, Rumble, and last but not least, YouTube, all under Savagely Loud or Savagely Loud Podcast. It will come up when you type it in. Guys, help me out. Go to these pages. Give me a follow. Give me a like. Give me a share. Give me a, all the good stuff. All the clicky love stuff, right, guys? And yes, to answer the question, Mikey is not on the show anymore. I do have to adjust, or I do have to redo that intro, but you know what? It took me a long time to figure out how to do that. I got everything that gets done here, all the little video sequences and all that stuff. That's all me, and I'm stupid, man. It takes me a pretty good hot minute to fucking learn how to do this shit. So yes, I know I do have to remove Mikey's from the show intro, but it's just not priority right this second. Like I got shit to do. So like talk shit on the internet, which is what we're about to do. Guys, I want you to take a walk with me down memory lane, right? Think about your life. Okay, let's get into this. Think about all the people you've known in your life. Think about the relationships you've had with these people in your life. Maybe not necessarily romantic relationships, but maybe they're your family members or friends, or they were romantic perhaps, or maybe they were coworkers. Perhaps you just knew them. They were just a cold acquaintance. But think about these people in the lens of who needed the most sympathy, i.e. the biggest victims you've ever known, right? Well, when you think about the people, those victims like the people that just wallowed in victimhood, when you think about those people, how did you interact with those people? Was it always different? Was it always the same? Was it many? Was it few? But what I will tell you is this. Every single one of us has had a person in our lives. Every single functioning adult has had at least one person in our lives from one of those kind of demographics of relationships that constantly needed the sympathy, constantly needed that shoulder to cry on. And we went against what we should have done and gave it to them to a point that it became toxic. Yes, that's what I want to talk about today is toxic sympathy, because we hear this term toxic, right? We hear it attached to all these things that were seemingly good, right? Masculinity and pride and nationality or nationalism and this, and we hear all this shit should be good. But we never hear it attached to sympathy. And I would think that sympathy is supposed to be good. So how could it become toxic? Just like masculinity. Masculinity is good, so how can it become toxic? Pride is good, how can it become toxic? Well, let's talk about how sympathy can become toxic. And let's talk about to even further break that down, let's talk about how sympathy, toxic sympathy, is the worst one that can hurt you the most if you don't get it under control. Guys, the truth of the matter is, everywhere we look across the global landscape, we see toxic sympathy working overtime. We just do. And the reason we see this toxic sympathy working overtime is because that's what we're taught to do. And, excuse me, that's what we're taught to do. That's what we're taught to think. That's what we're taught to feel. We're taught to feel this intense level of sympathy for everybody that's underneath us. Oh, wow. Yes, I did just say that's everybody that's underneath us. Well, let's break that down, because I thought we weren't supposed to be better than anybody. Well, we are. Guys, especially here in America, We are taught that we have it so good, like beyond good, so beyond good that we actually should feel bad about having it this good. And in order for us to make that right, we've got to shave a little piece off our cheese every now and then and give it to somebody that's got less cheese. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's what's got to happen. And that's the indoctrination that we suffer all through the American educational system, because teachers are at the forefront of this. They are at the forefront of making children believe that they have it too good. How can you have it too good? I see a lot of wealthy elites across the world that should be saying, I have it too good, but they keep doing things that make me think that they don't have it good enough yet, like this mass immigration thing. Well, let's break that down, because here in America and many, many other places, mostly all civilized countries. We've got the UK, we've got America, we've got Canada, we've got, every civilized country on earth is suffering a mass migration event from some other third world people. Here in America, it's primarily Mexicans. I think in Australia, I think their big problem is the Vietnamese. In the UK, they've got the Middle Easterners. We're seeing this all over the place. And we see, and the reason we see it is because of what I was talking about, toxic sympathy. In civilized countries, I know I said here in America, but it's pretty much it's all civilized countries. We can call it what it is. It's white countries. They teach white people to hate themselves. But civilized countries usually have the highest congregation or the highest population of white people. And we're taught throughout the educational system to believe that we have it so good that we actually become humiliated if we don't give it away. Well, as that goes on, you move from children that believe that to adults that believe that. The problem is that the adults have the ability and the opportunity to fuck it up for other adults. When you're a kid and you start believing that kind of shit, it's one thing, because you can't really make any moves that affect other people. But as an adult, you now have the power to affect everybody in your country. Well, they're attaching this need to this civilized need to give our culture away to mass migration events. They're selling it to us under the guise of, these people don't have it as good as you have it. You can give a little bit, can't you? You can shave a little bit off of, can't you, off of your life? You can just give a little bit more. And every fucking time that you give a little bit more, what do you hear? You hear, well, you could give a little bit more. I think you could give a little bit more. I mean, these people have nothing. That's all you ever hear. These people have nothing. Well, then you get the fucking problem that we have now. You get all these people that, in their heart of hearts, they mean well. Well, I don't want all these people suffering in their countries. Bring them here, bring them here, bring them here. And then you start getting into immigration arguments with people, because immigration changes the culture of the country or state that the people go to. Well, when you get into the immigration argument here in America, it always comes down to the Mexicans. The Mexicans are the only immigration problem that people ever want to quote. They ever want to talk about. They ever think exists. They think Mexicans. That's the only immigrants we have here in America. And the issue with that is that it is so far off base that no matter what argument these people make for it or against it, it's not founded in anything, because they have zero information. Like when it comes to Mexican immigration, the big thing for me, one of the big things for me that pisses me off the most is the number we always hear. We always hear 11 million. 11 million. There are 11 million immigrants. 11 million illegal immigrants. 11 million illegal immigrants. 11 million illegal immigrants. We've been hearing this number since 2007 and 2008 from Obama and his campaign. If we look at the internet, I actually have pulled up on visualcapitalist.com the amount of foreign nationals without legal permanent status that each president since G.W. Bush has let in, okay? Biden himself let in 10.4 million illegal immigrants, and that's just the illegal ones. That's not the legal ones. That's just the illegal immigrants that he let in his presidency. So you mean to tell me that just yesterday I heard somebody say we had 11 million illegal immigrants. You mean to tell me that all but 600,000 of the 11 million illegal immigrants that we had in America yesterday left? Or last year or last presidency or whatever, they all left when Biden imported 10.4 million of them? So we just exchanged all these? Or no, I think the likelihood is that we gained 10.4, making it, roughly 21, 22 million. And that is 1 year, okay? That's 1 year. We let in 10.4 million illegal immigrants. Now, that's a huge problem because I want to get into the illegal immigration thing, and I want to get into the legal immigration thing too, because that's just as big of a fucking problem, guys. And we have to start acknowledging this because I don't hear anybody fucking talking about it. But as far as illegal immigration goes, illegal immigration costs America and Americans so much more money than we even understand. We're not even capable of understanding how much money that costs us. And we don't pay any attention to it because we're busy being toxically sympathetic. We're busy being so sympathetic to another people that we're willing to degrade our own quality of life just to maintain sympathy for that person. We always hear about the illegals, and we always hear about that it costs us money, and then we hear the other people say, well, yeah, but those people work and they pay taxes and then they don't take out of the system. Not so fast. Let me give you a tale. Let me tell you a tale. So I have I've been blessed by living multiple different lives, and in these multiple different lives that I've lived, and with these multiple different perspectives and life outlooks and things, I've gotten to meet a lot of people. And one of the people I met throughout the course of my life was a very, very, we'll call her a high up in Arlington Heights Hospital. Arlington Heights is a suburb of Chicago, but they have a hospital there that years ago almost went bankrupt because of illegal immigrants. And I'll tell you why. So illegal immigrants come over here with nothing, right? Makes you feel bad. They don't got two nickels to rub together. They don't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. All these good analogies, right? Make you feel real bad. Well, when they go to doctor's offices to get medical treatment, the doctors ask for their insurance or their money, and they say, we got neither. And then the doctor raises two middle fingers and says, well, come back when you do. They go to the hospital, same shit. But they found out that they can't be refused service at an emergency room. So what this woman was telling me is that Arlington Heights Hospital at one point was almost going to go bankrupt because of the amount of care, the amount of money they were spending to care for illegal immigrants, because every single night that place was fucking packed from wall to wall, all the way out the door, full of illegal immigrants with the sniffles because they wanted to try to get medications to stock their medicine cabinets at home with for the future so they didn't have to come back. Well, every single night, the place was fucking packed with fucking illegal immigrants with the fucking sniffles. And it almost killed that hospital. That's one hospital, and I know a person in that hospital. I'm a fucking nobody. Can you imagine that how many hospitals this is actually happening across the nation? It's got to be every one of them. It's got to be. Unless you're talking the rural hospitals that don't have big immigration issues in their areas just yet. But it's got to be happening in every one. If I know a person at a hospital that can give me the information at this particular hospital, it's got to be happening at all of them. It's just that's the law of averages. This isn't the only one, guys. So right there on one aspect alone, only one aspect alone, you've got nightly basic hospital raids from illegal immigrants that are just getting free care. Free care, free care, free care, free care, free care. Because as soon as they walk out, they got no bill. Wait, find me, bitch. That's one aspect, okay? So when you take that aspect and that is almost like bankrupting hospitals, like real hospitals here in America, it kind of cuts down the sympathy a little bit, right? It kind of has to, right? Like even if you're really on that side of things, it's gotta at least shake that a little bit, right? To know that the hospital down the street that could very well save the lives of your husband, your wife, your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your son, your daughter, your grandchildren, that hospital could very well go out of business because you were crying and wanting all these immigrants here, right? Like you realize this. This has got to shake that fucking tree a little bit, right? Well, let's go into other things, okay? So illegal immigration, what does that cause? That causes a lot of theft. A lot of theft. As we found in the last several years, a lot of theft. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, that means companies start leaving communities. So now you've got let's say you've got a city of 30,000. It's a good city. It's a functioning city. Obviously, there's going to be some things that everybody disagrees with because that's the way it works. But it's a good functioning city. It's an overall safe place to make your money and to make your life. Well, you get this sudden influx of immigrants. Next thing you know, they don't have any money and they can't get any fucking jobs. So they start stealing the shit they need. And I'm going to be very, very polite there to say that they are only stealing the shit they absolutely fucking need. Very polite. So that you're welcome. You got a community full of people that are start stealing the shit that they need for their families. Stealing the food, stealing the Band-Aids, stealing the Q-tips, stealing the baby oils, stealing all this shit, right? Well, that causes the fucking the companies that have businesses there, like that have establishments there, to first off raise prices. First and foremost, they got to raise the prices to make up for the thefts. So now the law-abiding citizens of that fucking city are paying more for their shit because all the immigrants are stealing it. Well, this goes on long enough, and we see what we're seeing in Chicago. Not necessarily Chicago's only on the immigrant community because it's largely the black community, but we see things that are happening in Chicago. We see entire conglomerations of companies just pulling out, just not even doing business in that community anymore. They close the fucking door on the business, and now you got to go drive to another city to go shop at that particular store because of all the fucking theft that is happening that doesn't need to be happening, but it's only happening because you fucking wanted them here. You brought them here. You cried and cried and cried and cried and got up on your high horse and started preaching all your virtue shit and got them here. And now everybody's got to deal with it. This is that whole thing going back to the adults have the opportunity to fuck it up for the other adults. Well, again, this goes on long enough. Where does that leave you? That leaves people not being able to find jobs. People in the city that lived in the city that was great, that had jobs, no longer have jobs. And now that they not have jobs, now they got to drive extra far to go to another fucking community that actually has businesses because all the immigrants and people fucked this one up. It costs and costs and costs and costs and costs. And then you get into a situation where a lot of Americans are at, and they actually can't afford to go to work. And I know that's a really fucked up proposition to say, but there's certain Americans that can't afford to go to work. We did it. I'll give you a personal example. When my first wife, we had a kid, and we were so hard up in the beginning, it literally costed us $10 to have my wife at that time go to work. Costed us $10 a week. We had to go. That's how fucking close to the number. We out all the way to the penny. It costed us $10 for her to go to work that week instead of just stay home and watch the fucking kid. It shouldn't cost you money to go to work. Like it shouldn't, right? So if it's going to cost you money, it should be worth it. Well, when you see all these companies pulling out of communities, the jobs that are available in the next community over that aren't taken are going to be those jobs. They're going to be the low-end retail jobs. They're not going to be the fucking, the guy that just got done managing the $900 million a year store for Walmart or whatever. In this community, when they closed it, he's not getting that job in the next community. Ain't gonna fucking happen because Walmart fucking is gonna blame that guy for all the fucking problems. Because everybody needs to have a scapegoat. Everybody's got to have a whipping boy. Everybody has to have a way out of accountability for themselves. And then they say, "Well, we didn't make bad decisions. You made bad decisions, so you got to go too." So now it's nothing but turmoil from front to back. But here now. we've gotten through a couple of aspects of illegal immigration. Let's talk about legal immigration, because it's a big thing for people. They like to talk about legal immigration. You know the kind that you fire up their podcast and they're like, well, I don't agree with illegal immigration, but legal immigration is wonderful. It's so amazing, because they have to throw that virtue signal out there so people don't they don't feel the contempt when they start talking about illegal immigration. But when it comes to legal immigration, we're talking about a lot of fucking people that are coming into the country. See, most people don't pay any attention to legal immigration. They just don't, because there's, supposedly no reason to. They're not breaking any laws, blah, 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 blah. But what we need to be doing is paying very close attention to legal immigration, because that's where most of our numbers are coming from. And if you don't want to get erased in your own country, you have to start paying attention to some things. And that means you might have to start making some icky decisions about feeling certain ways about certain things, okay? So let's run through the numbers for legal immigrants in 2024. Legal immigrants in 2024, okay? Hold on a second. Oh, I fucking lost the page. No! I'll pull this one up. Okay, so so this page is Visual Capitalist. I've been on this page before. This page is Visual Capitalist. This is not just legal. This is everybody. So all of our immigration, legal and illegal, supposedly and illegal, which I can tell you right now is not and illegal, because it would make up all of one of these numbers. But top 25 nationalities of U.S. immigrants, 2024. We're going to start at the bottom, okay? Because I really want you to get a feel for how many people are really coming in. Because again, we always get so focused on the number of illegal immigrants from Mexico. It's very specific here in America. We always get, wrapped up in that illegal number from Mexico, that we forget to understand that we're getting them from everywhere. We're getting legal and illegal from everywhere, but we're getting the culture shifted in the process. So let's start at the bottom of this, okay? Number 25 on the list of the number of U.S. immigrants is, quote, rest of the world. Everybody that is not on the list that I'm about to name comprises 11.6 million people that we let in 2024. Okay? Number 24 at the low end, Pakistan, 399,000. 399,000 is a lot of fucking people. 400,000 people is a lot of people. But that's the bottom of the list. So let's keep going. So we've got Pakistan at number 24 at 399K. Then we've got Iran at 407K. Then we've got Ukraine at 427K. Then we've got Nigeria at 448K. Then we've got Peru at 472K. Then we have Ecuador at 518K. Then we have Germany at 537K. Then we've got Brazil at 619K. Venezuela at 668K, which is really interesting because all the fucking shitbags seem to come from Venezuela. The UK, 677K. Haiti, 731K. Jamaica, 805K. Canada, 821K in 2024. I thought you guys were super proud to live in Canada and shit all over America. Honduras, 844K. Colombia, 928K. South Korea, 1 million. Guatemala, 1.1 million. The Dominican Republic, 1.3 million. Now, I understand that the U.S. owns the Dominican Republic, but it is a vastly different culture, vastly different way of life. So obviously they're going to put it in here. Cuba, 1.3 million. Vietnam, 1.3 million. El Salvador. Or should I be like all the fucking virtuous white people and try to start rolling R's and say it in the accent? El Salvador. You know, you see all these fucking virtuous white people. El Salvador. 1.4 million. Philippines, 2 million. China, 2.2 million. India, 2.8 million. And anybody care to guess who's at the number one spot for U.S. immigration? Drum roll, please. Yep, that's Mexico at 10.7 million people in 2024. Now, How many is that added up together? Well, all of that added together is 46.2 million people that we let into this country that didn't fucking have any other reason to be here, any other right to be here, any other entitlement to be here in 2024. We let in 46.2. Now let's do the fucking math here. In a country of 350 million, let's call it easy numbers, 350 million, 1 year, we added 50 million to that. But 50 million didn't leave. So how can we still not be growing in the overall number in America? Well, it's because, well, people die and people do leave and, well, we just get replaced. So how long, if the whole idea is replacement, how long does it take to replace the population of a country with 350 million people when you're doing it 50 million people at a time? It doesn't take very long. And you know who's responsible for allowing this? Who's responsible for ushering all of this in? The demise of American traditions, culture, and the way of life? The toxically sympathetic fucking people that just can't get it through their heads that not all immigration is good. The toxically sympathetic people that cannot get it through their heads that they're doing bad for their country, they're doing bad for themselves, they're doing bad for their families, bad for their neighbors, bad for the future of the entire fucking the world. But they feel virtuous in this fucking notion that they want to save the world by killing themselves and killing their people. I can tell you what, if you tell me you want to kill my people to save another people, I'm going to fucking meet you with the fiercest fucking firefight that you'll ever see. Let me use an analogy. Let me tell you an analogy that I try to break this down with other people to try to get them to understand what's really fucking happening here. Okay? With this toxic sympathy. Everybody that drives, you've been in a situation where, you're in traffic and traffic's, kind of idling along. You're doing, it's, a little bit above an idle, 5-10 miles an hour, but you're moving, right? And everybody's tired of sitting in this line, blah, blah, blah. You're almost to the light. You're like, fuck, I can see the light. It's right there. I'll be the next one through. Great. I can still save time. I can still make time. Well, right then, as you're still tooling along, traffic's moving, the guy in front of you locks up the fucking brakes because somebody pulled out on a side street and wants to get out on the road you're on. Now, most people will say this. Oh, I'll let him out. I'll be the nice guy. I'll let this guy out and he can get on his way and then everybody's all the merrier, blah, blah, blah. They look at it as a truly virtuous thing because they haven't been taught to look at it through the scope of reality. See, there is two realities taking place here. The person that stopped traffic that was already moving, full of people that are already behind on time because they're in a traffic jam and they want to get where they're fucking going. The person that let that person out has two realities. They only ever embrace one. The first reality is they're a nice guy. They let this dude get out instead of sitting there waiting for all these people that probably wouldn't let him out. They're virtuous. The second reality that's taking place is by you, that person that let that guy out, stop traffic and let that guy out. By that person stopping traffic and letting that guy out, he was nice to one guy, but he fucked 400 people behind him. Because by stopping traffic, the next several cars that were already on that road couldn't get through that light. And now that caterpillared it, right? That inchwormed it. That fucking made everything congest. And now people are even further behind because this guy had to feel nice. Feel like a nice guy for one person while he fucked the 400 people behind him. Then what happens? The next people don't get through the light. Then the next people that should have got through the light won't get through the light. Then somebody else pulls out, stops traffic so another person can pull out. And then there's an accident. Now the people that were fucking, they should have been on time. Now they're going to be 2 hours fucking late. All because one dickbag couldn't just hit the fucking gas and let that guy figure it out. No, he had to feel virtuous. He had to feel like he was the center of attention for one person for one moment. And in doing so, he fucked everybody behind him. That's the real reality that I wish people would start taking a look at. Don't stop taking such a hard look at the reality of I'm helping other people have a better life. And start taking a look at the reality of I'm actually enabling the demise of my own people by propping up this other people. Think about this, guys. The more people you bring in, legally or not, the more the culture shifts. And when you ask any fucking American, you break it down real and honest. We all love our way of life. We all love it. Of course, there's some aspects we all going to bitch about, but we all love our way of life. We love the fact that we can, for the most part, wake up and if we want to call in sick to work, we can call in sick to work and we'll have a job tomorrow. We'll just get to it. We can fuck around in the house all day that we own, on land that we own. We love our way of life. We can go drive our nice new cars because we can afford them. We can do all this shit. We can go buy food, buy any food we want. We don't have to eat the cats in the neighborhood, nothing like that. We love our way of life. But the more people that we funnel in, the fucking faster that way of life goes away. Why? Because of things like I said with the hospital. Who eats that cost? The taxpayers. Who eats the cost of all the stolen goods, merchandise, and food? The taxpayers. Who eats the cost of all the fucking the rise in police, like in police staffing because the fucking crime is rising? The taxpayers. Pretty soon the fucking taxpayers are making less money than the fucking immigrants that are selling all their fucking dope on the street. I really, really, really wish people would start looking at the other fucking side of this reality. Because if we don't start looking at this other side of reality, we're going to start fucking dying. We're already dying. We're already dying off. The American people are dying off. The American way of life is dying off. American culture has been made a joke of. It's all but over. And nobody can tell me what's better about the replacing fucking citizenry. Nobody can tell me what's better. Like typically, I'm all for replacing something if you're replacing it with something better. But if you're going to take something good away and replace it with something bad, I'm not all for that. But nobody can tell me what's better about all of this quote unquote diversity that we're replacing American culture with. We've got plenty of diversity in American culture that leads to plenty of problems inside of our own American culture that we have to deal with. We don't need all these 46.2 million extra fucking problems added to this. Where do we go with that? Where do we go with that problem? Where do we go with this shift of culture? What we're supposed to do what Americans always do. We never learn up front. We have to appear virtuous up front, fuck everything up, and then try to figure out later how to unfuck the situation that was fucked because we just couldn't say no. We have to learn how to do just that. We have to learn how to say no. We have to learn how to be able to say, hey, my heart truly goes out to you, man. I truly feel horrible for your family and yourself and you having to live like this. I truly do. But if I invite you in, that means I'm going to live like that and I can't have that. That means my wife is going to live like that and I can't have that. That means my kids are going to live like that and I can't have that. I have the ability to stop that from happening, and I have to do that. I have the ability to offer you some advice. I have the ability to maybe offer you a little help, but I cannot cut my nose off to spite my face. I cannot practice such toxic sympathy that I end up killing my own people to save yours. Cannot happen. And until people learn how to do that, America will continue its spiral into the shitter. Until people, like I made a video the other day, until people can realize that if you were born here, you make your living here, you raise your kids here, you got married here, you live your life here every single day, everything in your life happens here, until people in America realize that that is what makes you an American and that's more important than what makes you a fucking Iranian or what makes you a fucking Russian or what makes you a fucking Jew or Israeli or what makes you a fucking Palestinian or a Pakistani or an Afghani. If it makes you, until you realize that being an American is more important than all of that fucking shit. All of those fucking places that you feel like you've drawn your heritage from, or you've been told you draw your heritage from, until you realize that America is more important than that, It's going to continue spiraling because this toxic sympathy moves into even that. America always ends up taking a back seat for American patriots when something happens to a country they draw heritage from. Guys, every fucking time I've been for weeks now, I've been in arguments with fucking all sorts of motherfuckers and these motherfuckers, every last one of them. I got a handful of Iranians. I know I'm supposed to call them Iranians, but I refuse to do that because you can go fuck yourself. How dare you correct me? I don't give a fuck. It's dialect. It's accent. Go fuck yourself. Just like Qatar. That's accent. It's dialect. Some people say it's actually closer to Qatar when they say it, but it's dialect. It's Qatar in an American English language. When you put all those letters together, it's Qatar. But anyway, I've got a gaggle of fucking Iranians, Palestinians. I got a couple of fucking Jews. I got a couple of Russians in there. I got a couple of fucking Filipinos. I got a gaggle of motherfuckers in my DMs. And the funny thing about this is every single last one of these motherfuckers does nothing but sit around all day and spew pro-American rhetoric. Pro-America this, pro-America that. America's the best. America's the best. America's the best. Until the Russia-Ukraine thing happens and I say something bad about Russia. And then all of a sudden, the American people need to be praying for the Russian people, according to my Russian friends, because that's what's most important. No. The American people are welcome to pray for your people, but we have to draw a very, very heavy distinction in who's more important. The American people are the most important people on earth when you are an American. If you're not subscribing to that, you're not an American. That's the fucking way it goes. When your nation comes last, you're not a fucking American. You're not a nationalist. You can stop all your rhetoric. But this is the way it's been going. I say something bad about Russia. Like, dude, the guy's fucking killing all his friends, killing all his people, trying to win this war. He's not, granted, he's not the world's worst dude, but he's not the best dude, blah, 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 blah. And I get the Russian guys that I know. Oh, you got to pray for Russian people because this and this. No, I'm going to pray for the American people. Same shit when it comes to Iran. This Iran-Israel conflict. I've got more fucking Iranian friends or more fucking, in addition to friends that aren't Iranian, talking about praying for the people of Iran. Fuck the people of Iran. How about that? How about pray for the people of America? No, we're not in that conflict right now. But here's the truth. That conflict means that your fucking kids, your beautiful American kids, could very well and are likely very well to get conscripted, to get drafted, to go fight that war. That's what you're willing to do. You're going to come to me and you're going to tell me I should be praying for the people of Iran, and then you're going to be okay with your kids going to fight that battle? Because if you're not okay with your kids going to fight that fucking battle, I strongly suggest you rethink who you're praying for. I pray for Americans. Of course it's fucking terrible. What's happening? War is terrible. It's never a good thing. It's just not. Okay? I feel bad for the people that are going through it. I feel bad for the people that are living in fear their whole time. The bomb might drop. I feel bad for them. But let's not get this twisted. I'm praying for the American people that we don't have to go over there and settle that conflict. I pray for the American people that we don't have to go and join in the Russia-Ukraine bullshit. I pray for the American people that our kids, us and our kids, don't have to go fight Iran and Israel and fucking Palestine and fucking all these goddamn shithole Middle Eastern countries. I pray for fucking Americans. Number one, above and beyond all. I don't give a single fuck about any other fucking country out there when it comes to Americans' demise. I just don't. I want everybody to flourish unless you give me unless you tell me that there's either this country is going to flourish and America dies, or America flourishes and everybody else dies, then push the button. Let everybody fucking die. As long as my fucking people here in America and my family here in America lives and thrives and flourishes, I'm good. I don't give a fuck. And that's what it's going to take. But people can't wrap their head around it because, again, we've been so indoctrinated to be so sympathetic that we will give away our own lives, give away our own futures and the futures of our children to feel virtuous in helping some person, one person even. Guys, if we want to swing this shit around, this toxic sympathy has to end. I'm never going to fucking tell you don't feel bad for people. Don't be human. But I'm going to tell you every fucking chance I get, don't ever fucking put any other human from any other land on top of fucking what's happening here in America. Because every single other country out there tells you, every civilized country anyway, without America, the world collapses. America's the last fucking guy, the last person, the last motherfucker, the last bastion. Stopping freedom, stopping anything, primarily the Islamic culture. I mean, let's face it. The Muslim culture is a fucking trash ball pile of shit, and it's taking over the fucking world. And America is going to fucking stop it. That's the only one left that can stop it. The UK's fallen. Everything in Europe has fallen. America's the last fucking place that has any ability to stop the shit. But unless we're willing to be bad dads, we're going to have to fucking, we're going to be getting that fucking call to prayer. Unless we're willing to cut ties with this toxic sympathy, we're going to be speaking some other fucking language. I mean, think about this, guys. Your kid comes home and says, oh, there's this white trash kid and he's from the trailer park and he slaps me around every day. What are you going to do? You're going to get mad, right? You're going to get super fucking mad. Fuck that. I ain't having this shit this motherfucker slapping my kid around. Go talk to their parents. Go over to the trailer park, knock on the fucking screen door. Rap, 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 rap. Yeah, I heard your kid's been picking on my kid. And then all of a sudden you start looking around. You start seeing how this kid lives. Start seeing that there's no love in the house. Start seeing just, squalor living situation. Are you going to, in that moment, let that kid keep slapping your fucking kid around because he has it worse? Or are you still going to draw the fucking line? I don't give a fuck where you come from. I don't give a fuck how you live. You are not going to be treating my kid like that or I'll fucking kill you. Because that's where I'd be drawing a line. That's where I'm drawing a fucking line. I don't give a shit how you live. I don't give a shit where you come from. I don't give a shit what problems you got. We all got problems. Everybody's had fucking problems. Everybody's going to have more problems. I'm not going to put your problems above mine. Fuck you. I got to live my life. I get one of these. I'm not the kind of fucking guy that has decided to fucking dedicate my entire life to saving somebody else. It's just not who I am. I've done a lot of fucking charity and I will do a lot of charity into the future. But I will tell you this. I don't do charity to the level where it kills me anymore. I did it before. I did charity event after event after event after event after event after event until I was ready to fucking blow my brains out. Not going to do that anymore. I got no problem helping people out. But you know what the best help is for people? Teaching them how to figure it the fuck out themselves. That's why I disagree with feeding homeless people. I don't think there should be soup kitchens. I don't think there should be fucking homeless shelters. I think there should be some fucking tough love put in place. You'll either fucking survive and you'll make it, or you'll fucking die. But we're not going to break the entire rest of the nation because you won't get your shit together. And before you start freaking out really hard, I've been homeless 3 times. I've been a fuck up for most of my life. So I've been homeless 3 times and I worked out every single fucking time. The last time I went homeless after my divorce in 2017. It's 2025. I own a fucking house, a nice house. Not a fucking mansion, but I own a nice house in a nice neighborhood. Got a couple of fucking new cars. Got a couple of toys. Got all this fucking shit around me that, I'm filming on. Life's pretty damn good. You know why? Because I didn't have somebody sitting there the whole fucking time giving me handouts and enabling me to stay broke, stay poor, stay broken. I got forced to unfuck my situation. And we'd have a lot less homeless problem in this country if a lot more people forced the homeless to unfuck their situation or just suffer the consequences of it. Because I'll tell you what, we're going to do a whole episode on it because none of that makes me sad. I've been homeless. I've been with the motherfuckers that are homeless. I've been down in those areas. You know what? Fuck every last one of you. You're doing this to yourselves. That's the fucking way it is. And when you go down to places like Skid Row and the Slab, all these places that are fucking homeless encampments, I think everybody should go. Find the closest large-scale homeless encampment to you and go. Because that's what you're going to be fucking looking at. That's how your kids are going to be living. That's how my kids are going to be living if you motherfuckers don't stop this fucking toxic sympathy shit, funneling in all of our replacements, funneling in the replacement for everything we've grown to fucking hold dear and near and dear to our hearts, our way of life, our way of living, our culture, our fucking work structure, our everything. If you don't stop fucking funneling these people in because you got some sad story about their living and wherever else, that's what's going to happen. America's going to be one giant fucking homeless encampment. Now, on that note, as with all shows, all episodes, we can't leave on this note, right? We can't talk about the fucking dredges of society. We can't get down to the bowels of the fucking population and then just walk away and the show on that. No, we got to pick this shit back up. We got to leave on a happy note. We've got to leave with some fucking hope in our hearts, some smiles on our faces, some love in our fucking in our chest. Let's get it done with the Hopeless Human segment, and it starts a little bit like.
People can be rough. They can be quite tough. They can get in the way, but at the end of the day, some aren't only stupid, some are hopelessly human.
All right, for today's Hopelessly Human segment, guys, just to recap, every episode I do a Hopelessly Human segment, and it just shows you that there's hope for humanity. There shows you that there's people out there that are still good to other people. Guys, this one fits into what we were literally just talking about with the homelessness. It's a very short one. It's called My Granddaughter's Dress. I saw it when this was written into a magazine. I saw a dress in a consignment shop that I knew my granddaughter would love, but money was tight. So I asked the store owner if she could hold it for me. I heard, "May I buy the dress for you?" asked another customer. I turned around and I said, "Thank you, but I can't accept such a gracious gift," I said. Then she told me why it was so important for her to help me. She'd been homeless for 3 years, she said, and had it not been for the kindness of strangers, she would not have been able to survive. "I'm no longer homeless, and my situation has improved," she said. "I promised myself that I would repay the kindness so many had shown me." She paid for the dress, and the only payment she would accept in return was a heartfelt hug. That was written in by Stacy Lee of Columbia, Maryland. Now, and that's to Reader's Digest. I like that one because, again, I've been homeless. I've unfucked my situation. I've worked out of it. And so is this person. So whoever this customer is, I naturally have a fucking gigantic respect for this person because not only did they go homeless and unfuck the situation by themselves, because it's never somebody else's fault when you go unhomeless. When you start getting back into reality and the way things are supposed to work, it's never somebody else's fault. It's always your doing. So if you've done that, if you've been homeless and you've crawled out of that, go you, motherfucker. Go you. But this chick did that and then turned around and still had that piece of heart, that part of the human thing, that human condition that still makes us want to help. So like I said, guys, there's this sympathy, but it's not toxic. It's homeless, but she worked out of it. It's everything in this story I think is fucking fantastic. We could all take a lesson from this story that we got to keep a little bit more kindness in our hearts. And you know what? Repay all the things that you feel the world has given you, and you can't help but live a better fucking life. I'm out.